Video for you today. You and me connecting. Let's see how it goes. We got a little breeze. I hope the sound isn't bad. Got a little breeze going on. Happy Monday, everybody. Wait for a few more people to come on here. It's a beautiful day here in upstate New York. I'm in the Rochester area, actually south of Rochester. And I hope the breeze isn't going to cause too much audio trouble. We'll see how it goes. Hey, good morning. Good morning to you. Happy Monday, everybody. Happy Monday to you. I'm here in my hometown. This is actually where I grew up, Caledonia, New York. Village of Caledonia. Population about 3,000 people. I'm going to walk right next door to the cemetery. I never used to like to walk in the cemetery, but as I studied the great Stoic philosophers, and one of their philosophies was memento mori. Memento mori was one of the Stoic philosophies, memento mori. And what was that? That was remember that you're mortal. Yeah, remember you're going to die. But they didn't do it in a morbid sense, out of morbidity, thinking negative or depressing thoughts. They did it out of how can we live more fully in the now, right now? How we're living right now. Remembering, as I look at these names, Mackley, Bill Mackley, he's still alive, okay. Coach, one of my football coaches, Esther Brooks. Oh my goodness, I wonder if Randy's on there. Catherine. There's Randy, okay. Oh, the beaches. There's Ron Beach. Yeah, my buddy Ron, and Ron is my classmate, and his son died of cancer. But for the grace of God, go I. So to be thankful, to live with an attitude of gratitude, to have that mindset always. I'm so grateful to have an attitude of gratitude, because it's impossible to hold two opposing thoughts in your mind at the same time, right? We can't be angry, frustrated, sad, and depressed if we're feeling grateful. If we're getting up every morning and we're making a list, what are the 10 things that we're grateful for? Yeah, sometimes I only come up with 5, but that's an important mindset to start your day with. If you start your day, as soon as you put those feet on your floor from your bed, what am I grateful for today? What am I most looking forward to today? If you start your day that way, you can't imagine how you set into motion, how the rest of your day is going to go. And your brain is always going to answer your questions. It never argues with you because it's coming from the subconscious mind, right? We already know, you and I know, the conscious mind can accept or reject, but the subconscious mind cannot. Whatever we plant, any idea, plan, or purpose, you know what? Anytime we have a plan, idea, or purpose, we can plant it in our subconscious mind at any time. So why not choose something that's going to serve us the best in our life? Any plan, idea, or purpose we can plant in our subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is just one of the greatest things to learn, is that it never argues with you. It doesn't say, when you ask it, why am I so screwed up? Why do bad things keep happening to me? It's not going to stop you and say, no, wait a minute, look at your life. Look what you've accomplished. Look at the great things that you've done. Look what you have that you can be grateful for. No, it tries to answer your question. So what you got to do is change your question. Now, do we have the power to change our questions at any time? Absolutely. So if you start your day with, what am I most grateful for? And if you write those things down, it causes you to see what you wrote and to say in your mind in repetition what you're thankful for. And so you're going to set up a vibration of gratitude, and it's going to be attracting to you not only circumstances, but other people who are of the same vibration, the same mindset of gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, right? I'm thinking about that right now, just talking about that. That's another reason why take on the purpose of encouraging other people. That's something that I have taken on because there's no greater joy. Having a positive impact on anybody else, no greater joy. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Hey everybody, you're at the Cliff Yates channel. And I like going live in the vertical format because then I know it shows up in the shorts feed and I get to connect with people who aren't already subscribers, new people, right? Kind of expanding my area of influence. And that's what I'm trying to do here. So if you're just coming across my content, listen, it's all self-improvement, personal power, personal growth, inspiration. But what's better than inspiration and motivation? It's discipline. Discipline outwits everything else. The discipline. When you've made a clear, definite choice, this is what I'm going to do. I've given myself a command that I'm going to follow through with it. That's how we build character. And that's how we build a better self-image. Hey, we've talked about this. If you've been around me for a while, you know I've been talking about this for years. Self-image is so important. I learned this, that we can never outperform our self-image. How we see ourselves. How we see ourselves is most important for a foundation. We can always raise that. We can always create a bigger and better self-image. No matter what level you're at, you might have already built a pretty damn good self-image. But hey, you know what has been indwelled within us by our Creator. And that need for us to expand and express is built into our DNA. We have a genetic DNA that's perfect. We have a perfect genetic DNA implanted in us by our Creator that says that we constantly want to expand and express new ideas, thoughts, and purposes. And that's why we make some achievements. We get to a certain level. And yet, hey, I want to achieve some more. I want to do it again. I want to repeat it. And that's natural. Learn to embrace that. Learn to have joy with it. There's never an end to it. Till the end. We will not go quietly into that good night. If you haven't already, subscribed to the channel, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for stopping in at the Cliff Yates channel. Hey, listen, to connect with you is a great thing that I appreciate. There's no better way to connect with someone than, on a personal basis, right? One-on-one, across the kitchen table, at a coffee shop, looking each other eye to eye, right? Looking deep into each other's souls and really connecting on a deeper level, deep level conversations, nothing better. But hey, next best thing, something like this. Use today's technology for good purposes. Now we have the unbelievable opportunity to turn on our camera. We can FaceTime with family, friends halfway around the world. You got a grandma or grandpa, they're not moving too good. And yet you can show them, hey, here's the pyramids. I'm in Egypt, grandpa. And they get to see that live, right? You can talk to them in real time, halfway around the world, because you're on the same frequency with them. When you get on the same frequency, the same vibration of that which you want and have implanted in your subconscious mind, circumstances and other vibrations on your level begin to manifest into its physical reality, that which you planted in your own subconscious mind. So always be implanting great, fantastic things. Dream big. Just when you think maybe that's too big, that's illogical, doesn't make sense, it's not reasonable. Do not be reasonable in your dreams and ambitions. But I must warn you, right? I had to learn the hard way, really. Although I went and did it, I had to learn the hard way. When you have big ideas and ambitions, be careful who you share those with, because you're sharing big ideas with small-minded people. When you do that, they tend to poo-poo your ideas. What makes you think you can do that? Why would you think you could do that? Why are you trying to do that? Look what you've got already. Why aren't you happy with what you have? Why don't you stay where you're at? You're doing well. You're secure. Those people don't know what has been planted on our hearts, our desires and ambitions. So be careful with your big ideas and ambitions, who you share those with. Something I was reading today, and I always give credit to where I get the ideas. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I'm glad you're here. I was reading Bob Proctor, and the book is Born Rich. You were born rich. Maybe you're born rich with family, friends, people that love you, money, and maybe not. But you can change those circumstances. We are always operating simultaneously on 3 levels. And that's what I came to learn today. I mean, I guess I've known it, but, you know, reading it, I had a better concept and an image in my head of us operating simultaneously on 3 different levels, right? Spiritual, the highest form, spiritual level. And then the next, intellect, our brain, how we think, the next level down. And then the physical. And we should always operate from top down. But we've been programmed since we were kids growing up, and we're always operating from the bottom up. We're always operating from the physical first, the lowest form, what's happening to us, and then we react to it, right? And then maybe we think about it, and then maybe we turn to the spiritual. Why don't we flip that around? Let's flip that around and always be operating from top down. Go spiritual first, all-knowing, omnipresent, beyond, transcends all understanding. It says in the Bible, right? The peace of God which transcends all understanding. In other words, we can't know, we can't really understand it. So we have to trust. We have to trust. And so when thoughts and ideas come into our mind, trust where they're coming from, and then think about those things on a repetitive basis, which creates images in our head, right? The theater of our mind. We have pictures. We are one of the few beings. We are God's highest form of creation. And so we can create pictures in our head. We can actually use our imagination. We have these higher faculties, everybody. We have will, we have intuition, and we have imagination. And we have perseverance. All these things that the animals don't have. They operate by instinct. We've been given the higher faculties. Instinct taken away, given the higher faculties. And so try to use those to your advantage. Since we have them, we should think about them and use them. Thinking is the most important thing that we can do. That's the most creative process that you can have. And that's probably why so few people do it. But we are not going to be in that group. We are not going to be part of the masses who are addicted to mediocrity. Too many people are addicted to mediocrity. Not you and I, and that's why I'm glad you're here. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join a community of progress. That's what I'm creating, a community of progress. We're growing slowly, you know, but I'd rather grow slow and have legitimate connections with people, which is another reason why I like to go live, because of so much AI generated BS. It's hard to know what is real nowadays, what is actually factual. So the fact that I can go live here with you around the world is a way to connect with you and for you to know, hey, this is real. This is not AI created BS. This is the Cliff Yates channel, right? From upstate New York, the village of Caledonia. This is where I grew up. 3,000 people. Can you imagine? I never imagined that one day, well, actually, I did imagine it. Eventually, I imagined it, and I ended up in Los Angeles working for the largest sheriff's department in the world. I actually did imagine riding the Sunset Strip in an LA County Sheriff's car. I actually ended up there. I actually did imagine performing at the Hollywood Palladium, stand-up comedy, and I actually saw that to happen. So seeing all these imaginations come true in their physical manifested form got me excited. What else is possible? What else can we do? What else can we imagine and make manifest in our life? Those are the kind of things that I study and share with you. And so if that's something that connects with you, subscribe to the channel. Bang that subscribe button. Costs you nothing, but it tells the computer, hey, people are interacting with the show. They're leaving comments. They're saying hi. And I'm going to show it to more people who are interested in personal growth, self-improvement, motivation, inspiration, discipline, how we can really grasp what is possible, how we can try to understand infinite power, right? No beginning, no end. that really transcends our understanding. But once we understand the infinite possibilities that we have, then we can start to change our thoughts. And when we change our thoughts, then our life begins to change. See, that's what happened to me over 35 years ago when I was in a negative place and I was creating negative circumstances in my life. And then I got to a Jim Rohn seminar. Then I went to a Tony Robbins seminar. I walked the hot coals. And then I changed my thinking. And then when I changed, things began to change for me. That's how I got excited in personal growth and development, self-improvement, because I changed and then things changed for me, which meant one thing. I was the cause of all my problems and I was the cause of my solutions. And what's exciting about it, that is that we are actually in control. We can decide what we think and the meaning that we give things. I'm reminded of that book, Viktor Frankl, Man's Search for Meaning, right? He's in the concentration camps. His family has been killed and murdered by the Nazis. He's watching some people commit suicide in the camps because they have no reason to live. They've applied no meaning to their life. And he saw other people who kept going, persevering. Then he realized, I got to give certain meaning to my life. I'm going to choose that has a meaning that's happening to me. Whatever they're doing to me, they can torture me, they can starve me to death, but they can't choose my thoughts. So I'm going to choose how I think and the meaning that I'm given to what's happening. He kept visualizing, okay, when I'm out of here, I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. And so he had great meaning that he was applying to his life. And that was part of his therapy, which was called logotherapy. Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning. So that's a book that's probably a must read. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz really goes into the self-image. And I was talking before about how the self-image is really one of the most important things that we can work on building, because we can build it and we can never outperform our self-image. We can't outperform how we see ourselves. That's why it's important to keep building and expanding our self-image. How we see ourselves is very important. Some of this sounds like a bunch of baloney, but it's not, everybody. Listen, I have lived it for the past 35 years, and I'm a small channel, everybody. I'm not big. Hey, but we're growing, and you can be part of that growth. So subscribe, please. I'm glad you're stumbling across my content. If you have a positive comment or a thumbs up, go ahead and leave it, because I appreciate it and I will answer you. But I've been studying everybody in this field. Everybody, and I go back as far as I can go. I can go back to Jesus' time. Right? I go back to the Bible, and I go back to Proverbs and some of the wisdom that they talk about in the scriptures. And if you ever start to compare some of the writings of our great motivators, inspirational leaders, you can, in most cases, you can reverse engineer back to scripture. And that's where they get a lot of their ideas and their principles and values that they share with the world today. And sometimes a lot of what Tony Robbins talks about, Dean Graziosi talks about, is stuff that you can actually go back to the scripture and you can find it there in the good book. And that's exciting because that's available to all of us. And listen, I hope this resonates with you. If it does, subscribe to the channel. I got some neighbors going by, and sometimes I still get a little self-conscious, but why? I'm talking to you around the world. All right, everybody. I'm here in upstate New York, enjoying my visit with Mom, taking care of her, and it's a good reminder, because right here in this driveway is where I first, 52 years ago, where I first picked up my dad's Super 8 movie camera, and I started making movies. I started getting my friends together, and I put them in suits and costumes, and I had them carrying shotguns, and I started creating these scenes. And then I would get the film developed and take it downtown. And, a week to 10 days later, I'd get that film back, actual film, and I would feed it in to the projector. And then I would show it to my mom, dad, and my neighbors and the friends who I made the movies with. And now, 52 years later, I'm able to turn on a camera and broadcast a live feed to the world. Last week, I was connecting with people. They were watching my video broadcast from South Africa. It was Italy and France. halfway around the world, maybe all the way around the world. But that's the magical things that we have available to us today. Never been a better time to be alive, everybody. I don't care what your profession is and what you're doing. It's never been a better time to be alive. It always will, no matter what. Whoever's born tomorrow, there's never been a better time to be alive. If you're alive today, you can still steam up a mirror. Let me tell you, you're still in the game, baby. And I can't encourage you enough. Hey, live your best life. You know, things are going to happen. Life is going to hit us in the face. And it doesn't matter how many times we're knocked down. Nobody ever counts that. But if you get back up, that's what's really important. That really is what people really like to see. When we go to a movie, we don't like to see people that are at the top all the way through. We like to see people, oh, he got knocked down. She got knocked down. She got knocked down again. It's the garbage truck. But then they got back up. Hey, we're always in the hero's journey, everybody. We're going to get knocked down. That's a fact. That's a sobering fact. But you know what? Knowing that when it happens, you can recognize it. Hey, here's one of those times I just got knocked on my ass. But guess what? I'm on my own hero's journey. I'm getting back up because you're the casting director of your own movie life. Some people cast themselves as an extra in their own life. Don't do that. You're the casting director. You're the producer. You're the writer. Cast yourself as the star because you are. You're the starring character in your own movie. Sit in the theater of your mind and look at that beautiful big screen of your life. Make sure you're hearing it in Dolby surround sound. Start to visualize, start to imagine your life in the future. Have it big, loud, in Technicolor, baby. And I'm going to tell you, if you have those dominating thoughts in your head on a consistent basis, you're going to start enacting a vibration of people and circumstances that are going to manifest into their physical reality what you've imagined. No greater power, everybody. I mean, it gets exciting once you get into this. Hey, if this resonates with you, please subscribe to the channel. Share it with somebody who needs to hear it. Hey, check out the rest of my videos. I got a lot of long form videos. I got a podcast that I do on these same kind of thoughts. And hey, if you want to be a guest on the show, hey, leave me a personal message. Send me an email. Maybe I'll have you join me on a podcast episode. All right, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.